Got it.
Awesome. Hey, you are here on the Student Music Network with me, Danny, here from Loughborough Campus Radio. And today I am joined by Harry Stone. Hi, Harry.
Hi there. Hi, Danny.
How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. Yeah, it's been a good morning. How are you?
Very well. Yeah, good morning so far. Let's hope to keep it that way. You've got a new single out called Daydreaming. How did a kid from Winchester kind of get into the music scene?
I don't really know. I just sort of started. I mean, it's a very insular process. It's something that happens inside of you. You can't. There's no like way of doing it. But you know, I went to uni and I just kept going. I came to London and then just kept going. And I just it's all quite recent and new. I didn't really write any songs until quite late. Just fairly recently. I mean, but yeah, just kept going, and yeah, that was it really. Just started busking on the street when I was like 14, and then just went from there.
And just kept going. Well, you have your new single now out, Daydreaming. It's been out for a couple of weeks. Tell us about it.
Well, Daydreaming is like a sort of it came from the bass line. I just had this bass line going around on this little synth, and I'd been through this sort of I've been through this phase of dating in the pandemic, and it was so confusing because the pandemic was so extremely high pressure for some weird reason. It's being single in the pandemic.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's because of my I don't know. My head might be crazier than other people's heads, but like I found it a really high pressure time. And so I was trying to date for like the first time in a while, and it was just not going how I expected. And I found myself getting really just caught up with a couple of people and being like, oh my God, this is a thing. And then, I don't know, I kind of felt like I'd entered this alternative reality. That's where like the idea of it being a daydream was all about, because I did snap out of it. So it was like, you know, it didn't take too long, just like a daydream. So yeah. And
don't worry, that sounds all too relatable.
Well, I suppose it is kind of relatable, but for me, it was particularly crazy at the time. It was more of a sort of madness than a daydream, if I'm honest. Hence like the reason to write so sort of personally about it. But yeah, it just came from the bass line, and it was just nice. Like a beat in the bass line and just a few words. And I mean, it's still evolving as a song, to be honest with you. I'm like figuring out like a live version, and I've figured out like how to play it on a guitar, just on a guitar, and it's changing even now, which is funny. Post-release.
Awesome. And also now you have your EP dropping soon. How is that going to sound, the EP as a whole?
Well, it's pretty contrasting. There's going to be these quieter and louder tracks on it, and yeah, it's going to be it's a nice mix, to be honest with you. I've had a really nice time, especially through the pandemic, to kind of just get really experimental with how things could sound. And I think it's really important for me to have that, because if you just get stuck in one formula, I guess, of doing things, of writing, then it can stagnate. So yeah, it's been a really good way to keep things fresh. And I know it might seem a bit like random almost, this EP, but it's like they're all songs that I like for particular reasons. And that's why I'm bringing it out, because I feel like it's appropriate, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how does it feel now, though, having your music there out in the open? I mean, you've been already played on BBC One. You have had shout outs from Ed Sheeran. I mean, how does that feel like?
It's pretty crazy. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just been a really, really whirlwind experience, especially in the last 6 months. I really, this is the kind of thing I just wanted, and yeah, I can't really explain it. It feels crazy. It feels so good. It feels so good to have those opportunities to, people saying these things, and like, it's great. It's so good to hear your music on the radio is like nuts.
Yeah.
It's, I the first time I heard myself on Radio 1, I was like, what is going on? Like, this is mad.
Yeah, that must have been insane. All of a sudden being like, oh wow, that's me.
It was wild. So yeah, and if anyone is seeing this and wants the same thing, just keep at it, because you can do it. It's not as hard as I guess you think. After a bit, you just the opportunities do arise. You just keep going.
Yeah. And obviously you got to co-produce with the amazing Paul Epworth. Now, for those of you at home who don't know who Paul is, has won Producer of the Year at the Brits 3 times, 5 Grammys, and an Oscar for co-producing Skyfall. So this is, someone big. How was it working on this song with them?
That was incredible. I mean, for me, it was like the craziest part of it was taking in like a basic demo of Daydreaming that I wanted to figure out. I don't consider myself a producer, and to take it in, and for someone of his level to be like, yeah, all right, yeah, and just to get that initial like, okay, and it just made everything feel really valid. And I think artists are probably always chasing a bit of validity. And that was crazy. His studio, the Church in North London, is like world famous, and I was just completely blown away to be there in the room and to have it kind of all about my project, which is a crazy feeling. It's like hanging out.
You're the center of the attention. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like it's honestly, it was mad. It was so cool. And yeah, I'm really, really proud. I'm really, really proud of what we've made together. And the thing, I think you have to do this stuff imagining it's not going to come to anything, but it's like you just do it because you're having a great time in the moment. And that was, that's what daydreaming is. It's just a sort of snapshot of us having a hilarious time putting it together and making sure that's why the single itself is almost undercooked. It's like just a vibe, and there were bits we could have completed about it, but we sort of chose not to, because we were just like, well, it's fine as it is. Like it's like if we change it, we kind of got closer and closer to the demo vocal, and it was like,
well, I mean, you were talking about kind of the vibe of the whole album. Now, you did mention that,
EP.
EP, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
You did mention that your kind of musical mentor passed away, and that made you become more introverted. Do you think that affected your sound at all, or?
One of my musical mentors sadly passed away, and it's a good moment of clarity, I think, because it gives you a sort of like, well, okay, I will pursue this. And it's not necessarily in the name of that relationship you have with that person. It's more just I found it just a moment of inspiration to just I guess just to get on and just keep going, because it was like, okay, well, I figured at that point life is too short to not do what you want to do. So I would just do what I wanted to do, and I wouldn't worry about if it was, I don't know. There's a million questions that make you doubt yourself doing something like this. And I kind of just, all of those questions didn't seem to matter in light of the fact that someone was gone. And I was like, okay, right, well, I'll just make myself happy, I guess. I'll try to by doing this.
Fair.
Yeah.
Now, obviously people are here to kind of get to know you better. So I thought, what better way to do that than a quick fire round, if you're okay with that.
Sounds
so
good.
I'll give you an example. It's going to be stuff like dogs or cats,
Sure.
So we'll do kind of 30 seconds, give or take, on the clock, and we will then kind of see what you prefer, if you're good with that. Okay, ready? Yeah. We'll put some tense music over this or something. Kind of,
cool. I'm ready.
Okay, TV or radio?
Radio.
Downton Abbey or Bridgerton?
Downton Abbey.
Wine or beer?
Beer.
Bike or scooter?
Bike.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Polaroids or photo booth?
Polaroids.
Ant or deck?
Ant.
Chess or Monopoly?
Monopoly.
And finally, tea or coffee?
Coffee, for sure.
I always like that. It's always a fun little way just to kind of get a person.
I was waiting for dog or cat.
No, that was the example one.
Oh, right,
just
okay.
use the
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, so now
it.
obviously with the EP coming soon, what plans do you have after that?
Well, I guess I've got some more people I've been working with recently, so I'd probably be looking to another EP maybe, or I don't know. We'll see. I'll see once the EP is finished. You know, very much seeing how I go. But my vague plan is to have another EP come out, I think, after this one. That I've been working with a brilliant producer called Kyle Evans, and he's fantastically talented. And yeah, I'm really excited about that music, and I'm sure that will come to fruition, I think. And it feels like a very big level up from where I'm at the moment. It feels much more, I guess, I'm going to use the word progressive. I don't know, that might not be the right word, but it just feels like it's becoming like a thing, which is nice. Because this whole EP, although I'm really proud of it, it's like, I've worked on the music already, and I feel like I can, I'm always improving because I'm doing this, all the time. Which is a wild thing to see, because I guess if you just do something all the time, you get better. So yeah, that's the plan for the minute.
All right, perfect. Do you want to plug your single and EP one more time?
I would love to, yes. Please listen to Daydreaming, Love Gone Cold, All Loaded. They're all on Spotify. My 3 singles that are out at the moment, and there will be another one coming very soon, and thus an EP. You can listen to it on Spotify. Harry Stone, that is the tag, Harry Stone with a 0 for the O on Instagram. Follow me. Yeah, I've been putting up content, actually, like really funny little bits, like just onto Instagram, and just like this stupid little, I don't know, mashup videos and stuff. It's really funny. I used to be someone that completely shunned social media, but actually it's really fun, and it's been a really good way to keep me sane during lockdown.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Because I've just had something to work on and improve and edit, and so.
Well, yeah. Thank you very much, Harry.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right, perfect. I will